Hi everyone, welcome to HTML Bootcamp Session 8. So today we are going to discuss about attribute, HTML attribute. So in order to start, what's the basic terminology of HTML attribute? What does an attribute mean? So an attribute is used to define the characteristics of an HTML element. So if we take an example and if we go and see this particular car, this is a car or this is an object, but what are its characteristics? First thing is color, and its color is red. So we can write that a characteristic is there, so color is there, and that color is red. So we can say that this is the name and this is the value. So car has a name as color and value as a red. Or we can say particular thing that attribute is used to define the characteristics of an HTML element. So if we generally write anything, so take an example, if you are just writing hello world and open in browser, it's there in black. Now what will happen, like if I want to make it in red? So we have seen few HTML element like h1, h2, tool, h6, paragraph, hr, then different kind of, like we have seen body and all other thing. So we have seen different HTML tags and their uses like heading tag, paragraph tag, and other tag. We use them so far in their simplest form, but most of the HTML element tags can also have attribute, which means it provides some extra bit of information. And we can say that when I say attribute, it's divided into two parts. I can say name and then I can say value. So if I write here name and then value, so name will be its characteristic and value will be so what kind of color or something. So let's write something for h2. So if I write, like for an example, let's take a attribute called as style. So I write here style and then I write something like style equal to color and then color is blue. Okay, now let's see what will happen. Can you see? The color of hello world has been changed from black to blue. If I write something else, if I write here red and if I refresh, it will be red. If I write here cyan and if I refresh it, some other color will be there. If I write orange, then there will be orange. So how we can define an attribute? An attribute is used to define the characteristic of an HTML element and it is placed inside the element opening tag. So this is element, its opening tag, and it's placed inside the element opening tag. Now all attributes are made up of two parts, name and value. So we can say this is the name and this is the value. Or in a simplest form, if I say hello world, HELLOWORLD, let's see it in browser, hello world. Now I want to just make this particular world in some different format. So I have an attribute called font, font, and under this font I am going to make some changes. So if I write this particular font let me close this font. If I write font size, the size of this particular word should be of 7. Then I can say color should be red. Then I can say face. Now what does this face mean? So if I'm writing something here, I hope you know the different type of theme font which we are using. So as of now, let's use something different thing. Okay, let's take this one. So face means different type of theme font. And if we try to save it and let's open it in browser, can you see how world is look like? Its size is 7, color is red, and theme is in this format. So always we have attribute in the format of name and then its value. So I can say this particular thing is known as name and this particular thing is known as value. Attribute always provide additional information about an element. I hope this is pretty clear to you. Now let's start from the beginning. So let's start with body. So this is particularly my entire body, and in body I just want to make the background color as maroon. So let's write background color as maroon. Let's see how it's working. Okay, right now it's not working. So background color, if you want to display any background color, so the tag should be bg color, not background. Background is generally used to put a background image in body tag. So if I write bg color as maroon, I'm again trying to refresh it and you can see the entire body background color has been changed to maroon. Now if I want to change this text, this hello world, this hello, in some other color, take an example, I want to change this text into blue. So I have another attribute text and that write it as a blue, and let's see, can you see this thing has been changed to blue? Why not this thing? Because we have already defined that this particular world should be there with the color of red and this particular hello world should be there in the color of orange. If I remove this particular thing, now let's see how it will look like. It will look like a blue because I have not defined anything. I have directly defined whatever text is there inside a body, all the text items should look like blue. This world is not looking like because I have defined it in such a way. Okay, so we have talked about body, how you can change something in body. If I want to place some background image, so I can write background dot png, some image should be there. Let's try to refresh and can you see a background image has came here. We can change the property, we can bring one entire image because this is getting repeated again and again. We'll see in the next session where we are implementing some image tag in HTML. At that point of time we'll see like how to remove all this kind of thing, but right now I have just shown you the body properties or the body attribute. So bg color for background color, text if you want to change the text color, and background image, then you can put anything but the tag name will be background. For meanwhile, let me remove this background image and now let's proceed further. Now I have shown you about background color, background image and the text one for the body. If I'm just writing something like hello world, and if I want to change something, or if I want to make this world with bold or italic, then we can generally simply use the bold tag or something. But if you want to make it a size of 7, color of red, and face value as in some other kind of what we see, so we see it as a theme font. So if you want to make it of a other theme font, we can again change something like, let's take some other format, like take this one. Can you see it has been changed? So theme has also been changed, the theme font has been changed. So this was about the font. If I write a general paragraph, so if I write a paragraph, and under paragraph I'm writing anything like my name is Ankit, welcome to LeanX. Now if I want to change some property of this particular thing, then how I'm going to do? So I can generally use the style attribute, which is also known as CSS attribute. So I can write here make a color of red, then I can write font size. You will see here font size, this is one of the property of 25 pixel. Then I can say font family or something. So font family, I can use font family as anything. As of now I know some font family called brush script empty. Let's see if this is going to work. Yep, it's working. Let me remove this particular thing, and then you can see it more clearly. Okay, now this paragraph color is red, font size is 25 pixel. If I want to make it 100 pixel, okay, it's not working. Okay, so I have written here font style, this is the reason. So it should be font size. So you should know this simple thing, like what mistake you are doing. If I make it as 100 pixel, can you see? Then the font family, and this is the one, the theme which I am using. So it's written in this way. I can reduce the pixel to 30, save it, refresh it. Yep, it's working. Now we have also seen another tag called HR tag. What it generally used to do, let's see, a horizontal line. Now if I want to make this particular line as a red, then either I can use the style tag, CSS style tag, or I can directly write color equal to red. Now let's see if it is red or not. Yes, it's red. If I want to increase the size of this particular horizontal line, then what I should do, I can write size of 10. Yes, the size has been increased. If I want to increase the width or something, or want to reduce the width or something, I can say 50% of this particular screen size. So you can say it has been decreased, and now it's 50% of total screen size. And if it is like, if I say align it to right or left, so align it to left, let's see what will happen. It's been aligned to left now. So this you can do either like you can create a horizontal line and then you can use style attribute, CSS style attribute. So style, and then you can write like color as blue. Okay, your spelling should be correct. Then you can write font size something, you can mention it in pixel, 25 pixel, and let's see what it give. It give me a line and it should be of a blue color. I hope this is blue. If I make it as 100, something is okay. Yes, something is happening here. That is a font size. Okay, let's write one more property of this. Okay, everything should be within this particular thing. So we can use anything called width is there, width property is there. We can use 50% of width. Let's see if it work. Yes, it has been changed to 50%. And if I want to align or something, then I can use any other property. So these are the attribute like which I have told you like how actually it work. So now what we'll do, we'll revise like what we have discussed so far. So HTML attribute, like we have seen, it's used to define the characteristics of an HTML element, build of two part, name and value. If I go into detail, you can see here, this is a particular attribute, then you have a name and then you have a value. So you can see name and then you have a value. Then there are core attributes like ID, title, class, style. All these things like we'll be covering in later on session. General attributes like we have seen a line, bg color, background, width, height, and we have changed the color. We have seen a background image. We have seen how to use this font property. Then we have seen HR tag and other thing. So I hope like now you understand like what does an attribute mean. It generally give additional information about a tag. It can change the entire property of the tag. You have to just include some different properties like color, size, pixels, then font, style, everything can get embedded in particular HTML tag. And that is the actual characteristic. Like what's the characteristic of car? So if I say the characteristic, the object is a car which have a characteristic as a color, and the value of color is red. So it is as simple as like what I've explained in the form of car. Car is an object. A car has a characteristic known as color, and then that characteristic has a value known as red. So I hope you like this particular video. If you like this, then please like, share and subscribe. If you have any query, please reach out to me. Everything will be mentioned in the description. And meanwhile, like, let's meet up in next session. Till that time, thank you so much. Keep learning and keep sharing.